Welcome to beautiful Antalya, Turkey. If you haven't been to Turkey, Turkey is full of history, great food, awesome people, beautiful, beautiful beaches, and turquoise water. And in this video and in this series, we're going to be traveling down Turkey's Turquoise Coast in the Turkish Riviera. We're going to be going on this epic road trip. But in this video, to start, we're going to be starting off in our first stop, coming from Cappadocia and visiting and seeing the top 5 places you need to see when you're in Antalya. Antalya is the 5th most populous city in Turkey. It's the capital of the Antalya province, and it's just over on the southwest side of the Taurus Mountains. Antalya is the largest Turkish city in the Mediterranean coast, and you can see those mountains everywhere in this city. It's an absolutely breathtaking backdrop to these long stretching beaches, which we're going to see as well. Antalya was first settled in 200 BC. It went and was subdued by the Romans. It expanded out into the Ottoman Empire, so there's a ton of history to see all over this province and all over Antalya. The first place you absolutely want to visit is KONYAALTI Beach. It's west of Antalya's town center. It's one of Antalya's 2 prime sweeps of sand with a picturesque background of these beautiful rolling mountains across the coastline. It looks absolutely breathtaking. No matter where you are in the city, you can go ahead and see those mountains and see this large swath of beaches. It is incredible to actually lay down your eyes on, and when you're walking down the boardwalk, it's just full of restaurants, live music, people hanging around and lounging on the beach. They also have bike paths and scooter paths and walking paths. It's really this huge community on the beach, and it's alive from day to nighttime. So it's truly an incredible experience. We went there both during the day. We lounged on the beach, we had some drinks, ate some food, and then we came back at night and there's live music everywhere. People are hanging out in the park. You know, little picnics are happening with every type of person you can imagine, from young families to older folks, to a bunch of kids partying. You literally had it all here. So during the summer, this entire strip is pretty popular with both local and foreign visitors. So it was really a collection of people from Turkey, you know, other locals coming to Antalya for vacation, but also tons of international travelers. As I mentioned, Turkey and Antalya specifically is the 5th most populous city in Turkey, but it also just surpassed New York for the most international travelers in 2021. Welcome to beautiful Antalya. This is Turkey's 5th largest city. We're on KONYAALTI Beach, which gives you blue flag beaches, 8 kilometers long, of beautiful pebble, not fine sand, but pebble and sand beaches with a beautiful mountainous backdrop on the Mediterranean. And in this video and on this journey, we're going to be seeing the entire turquoise coast of Turkey, from Antalya, the Marmaris, Fethiye, Bodrum. We're going to be seeing it all on an epic road trip, going through the mountains and the seaside roads to see everything that Turkey has to offer. Antalya doesn't get colder than 5 degrees Celsius in the coldest days in the winter, and it gets really hot in the summer, 37 to 40 degrees Celsius across all summer. So you just have beautiful weather, beautiful beaches, beautiful sights all year long in this beautiful country of Turkey. So really popular destination, and obviously I think the highlight of this city is KONYAALTI Beach because it's right there. You see the mountains. It's really the opening into the Mediterranean Sea. Truly a breathtaking place. You want to go here. I recommend get a scooter if you can. Just go scoot along, you know, front and back on this beach. It's a great thing to do. You can see the entire beach, and also make sure you stop by at some of the restaurants, see the live music, but truly one of the greatest stops in Antalya. Here, we're going around a lot of different places in Antalya, especially that are outside the city center, so you want to get a good rental car. Obviously, in Turkey, Europe, a lot of the rental cars, the cheaper ones are going to be in stick, which is going to be even funner and better for the experience. So we have this, surprisingly, it's only a 5-speed manual transmission, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and use it. It's fun. But this is a big part of this road trip, is going to be taking this car across Antalya, Fethiye, Marmaris, Bodrum. This car is going to be taking us to all of that, and we're going to be going, you can kind of see up ahead, those huge mountains. Antalya's covered, this region is full of these mountainous terrain. We're going to be going through them with this car, stopping by at all these beautiful destinations. So Really easy. Take a rental car with you. We're gonna go see some beautiful sights. And there's one thing that you can't really get with a lot of public transportation is when you're in your car on these highways, especially the highways that I'm gonna show you once we're out of Antalya, you can just see all this natural beauty. Look at the mountains up ahead of us. And I live in Ontario, so we have literally nothing. That's just flat lands. You don't see any of this, no beaches, no mountains. And to come to a city with such breathtaking geography, huge mountains, beautiful beaches, just scoring across the city and the region, it's so breathtaking. You want to have a car so you can go to all those spots and see all that. So that's why it's so important. When you're in a place like this, get a rental car. It's worth it. It's worth it. Just like the sea view room. If you can go ahead, pay that little extra premium, get it. It'll make your trip so much more enjoyable, I promise you. Number 2 is going to be LARA Beach. Now, obviously, I'm biased to my beaches. I love a good beach. And LARA Beach is popular for its white sand and good family-friendly facilities. It's, again, backed by cafes and restaurants with plenty of activities from jet ski rentals to stand-up paddle boards for those who want to hit the water. Lots of sun lounging, umbrellas can be easily rented. You can go ahead, soak up the sun, have some food, just enjoy the beauty of the Mediterranean Sea. Definitely less pebbly on the beach than KONYAALTI Beach. So if you have family, little kids, it's probably easier for them to go into the water. Water also is a little bit shallower going out into the water. So again, easier, more kid-friendly, more family-friendly. It isn't as crazy as KONYAALTI Beach in terms of like the nightlife, all the restaurants, etc. But on the one side of the beach, there's all these 5-star resorts. We're not there. We're on the public side of this beach. There you have basically the Turkish Riviera of resorts, 5-star stuff. So if you want to stay there, it's literally just 10 minutes away from the airport. That's the other cool thing about this, is that there's an airport maybe 10 or 15 kilometers out that way, and you can see all these planes just flying over the beach. And I think it actually adds a little bit to the beach. If you like plane watching, I like plane watching. I like to do that as well. And then on top of that, this is literally 10 minutes by car to DUDEN Waterfalls. If you're coming to this beach, you can stop at DUDEN Waterfalls as well, but you can basically come here, spend hours that you want to spend here on the sandy beach, maybe get one of those day beds, relax, have fun, eat some food. They have nightlife here, there's a bazaar here, there's shopping, there's basically everything you can imagine. So that's what we're doing. We're basically just baking in the sun a little bit, having some fun, and then we're off to our next stop. The last thing I really like about this beach, and it's because it's just calmer, it's more relaxing. So if you literally just want to kick back and relax and just kind of be away from whatever life has at you, you can come here and do that here. And then just again, the salty air I can smell and the nice wind from the water, it just makes it good. I feel my skin is better. Lots of stuff going on here, especially on the west side where there's a lot of these beach resorts and hotels are located. So for visitors arriving on holiday, if all you care about is the sun, sea, and the sand, LARA Beach is definitely a main attraction. You should definitely go here. I thought it was beautiful. The water was amazing. Last thing I forgot to mention, just like KONYAALTI Beach, this is a blue flag beach. So that basically means the water's safe. You can go ahead and swim. So fully safe to swim. They actually renew that every year. So just because a beach gets the blue flag rating doesn't mean it's going to go ahead and get it again. It's more than just the beach quality, it's water quality and the education of the people here and the staff to make sure the beach is kept to those standards. So really nice. It's good to know that you can get in the water and actually have an amazing experience and not worry about, is this safe? Okay, so you're done with the beaches. You want to see a little bit of the history and the architecture in Antalya. You definitely want to visit Antalya's Old Town KALEICI. You walk through these streets and there's a whole array of boutique hotels, souvenir shops, art galleries, restaurants, definitely lots of places to get some drinks, and really, it's awesome.
You could see the old walls from the Roman Empire, you could see the gate, you could see all the other architecture built in like 1800s. Very pretty.
There's a lot of walking.
A lot of walking.
But you can also do a scooter, and we've seen electric bikes.
Yeah.
It feels like Old Town. You have Hadrian's Gate there as well. You walk through all of the streets, cobblestone streets. Definitely a place to go ahead, spend some time, do some shopping, onto your next stop when you go over here into the old harbor in the Mediterranean. You kind of just end up walking by this while you're into the old town. It's kind of nestled into the cliffs, and it's on the northwest corner, and it's just covered with these picturesque, cafes and restaurants, gently overlooking all of the yachts in the marina. It really is a beautiful spot. Over on the left-hand side, you just have a whole bunch of people sunbathing, enjoying this beautiful turquoise water. Like, look at this water. It's absolutely just stunning. right? You can just see right down through it, super clear. Obviously with the Mediterranean, you can just float, right? It's so salty in this water. It's super easy to float. You don't even need to know how to swim. You just kind of like float there. And it's just really gorgeous. You see people coming in, looking at the sights, going on boat tours from here, relaxing on the beach. You definitely want to come see this location. And then all across on the side, you see all of these huge historic walls, right? And it just looks breathtaking. You kind of feel like you're going back in time, you know, experiencing what it was like to live, you know, back hundreds of years ago, and really getting a taste of that. So I highly recommend, you know, if you want to go on a boat tour, maybe you start here, go ahead, eat some food at the restaurant, enjoy the time. Maybe you want to sunbathe, get in the water. Absolutely. Spend a lot of time here, do all that, but it's absolutely beautiful. Take in the sun. And from here, you can actually see on the other side KONYAALTI Beach in Antalya. We're in the ancient marina, and it is so beautiful. This is like one of the most beautiful marinas I've ever seen in my life. Like, just look at it behind me here. So beautiful. And then on the left-hand side, you have all these people swimming here. Very shallow water. There's a restaurant above. Like, this is just so stunning and gorgeous. You just park your car just outside of the old city and you just walk about. You go see all these destinations. Like, this is just awesome. And the weather is beautiful. The water is like this turquoise color. It's literally magical. And the weather is perfect. Just a nice soft breeze. And then over there, you see all of Antalya's main beaches. So, thoughts on this marina?
Speechless. Stunning. Look at this. It's paradise.
Very much reminds us of a mixture of Italian coast and Portuguese coast. It's like kind of a mix of both. Your next stop is going to be KARAALIOGLU Park, which is just off a little bit of a walk, maybe 10 minutes from the Roman harbor, off to the left-hand side. And it's a great expansive park with a lot of cafes, different restaurants. We actually found a nice little cafe just tucked in into the corner of the cliffs where you can go ahead and swim in this own little enclave or this little spot where you can go into the water and just enjoy the sun, enjoy swimming, see the fish underneath you. It was really awesome. You just kind of have this private space. And there's a bunch of these cafes across the entire park onto the cliffs of Antalya. It's absolutely breathtaking. Super gorgeous. I highly recommend, as you're kind of strolling through the old city, strolling through the harbor, come to the park, enjoy the sights, you know, take a little bit of a relaxation moment and just enjoy the water and the view again. You see a bunch of the boats coming through here, have a little snack, and then you're off to the final destination, DUDEN Waterfalls. Right now, we're actually driving to DUDEN Falls, and it's such a gorgeous drive here. Like, you're on the coast, you're literally driving on the cliff's edge. You see the water over to your right, and everything over to the left is shops, restaurants, condos. People are enjoying themselves. On the right-hand side, there's a bike path, a walking path, all of these little parks. If you are in that area, what you can also do, like, Antalya is super friendly for scooters, right? You can go ahead, rent an electric scooter and just take that scooter all the way to DUDEN Falls. And that entire trek is on a specific lane for you, so you don't need to worry about traffic or getting hit or anything like that. But realistically, awesome experience. We also had a car and we drove down the first time when we went there, but we also took a scooter ride there. So if you want to take the car, that's also awesome. There's not that much traffic in Antalya that I experienced. So really easy driving. The only thing I will say is if you're coming from, let's say, North America, Canadian here, obviously, you have to be a little bit aggressive when you're driving. So just as a heads up, be cautious. There's a lot more things happening on the road than in the North American roads. Be very cautious, but you have to kind of drive aggressively to drive safely, if that makes sense. So just make sure, again, be cautious, but DUDEN Waterfalls, just breathtaking, gorgeous, right? I can't believe that a waterfall like that is on the side of a cliff and you're seeing it so up close when you're up there. And this is technically two impressive waterfalls. It's fed by this river that runs all the way from those Taurus mountains to terminate into the Mediterranean Sea. The lower DUDEN crashes down onto the cliff face into the water and is best viewed from an onboard ship. So we did see people there with their boats. They were kind of watching the waterfalls. Or the upper falls, which is 15 kilometers outside of Antalya. It can be reached by car and you can just see it from above like we did. But obviously extremely beautiful. We came here during the day and we came here at nighttime, and they light it up, and it looks beautiful at nighttime as well. But it's breathtaking. It's absolutely a must-see. It's easy to get to by either boat, car, or a scooter. If you want to walk, you can walk too, but absolutely come visit Dudun Waterfalls. This drive on the coast, it's just literally littered with all these beautiful little coffee shops, restaurants, hotels, condos, parks, dog parks, beach spa hotels, clubs, bars. It's honestly, it's breathtaking. This is like the California of Turkey. This is it. This is some good times. And the good thing is it's cool at night because of the Mediterranean. And so you want it to be colder at night. You know, wear a dress, guys can wear a long sleeve, whatever. And during the day, it's nice and toasty and hot for you to go to the beach. One last thing I'll mention is I checked out some prices for like condos and everything here. You can get really nice condos, you know, even beachfront condos for $500,000, which is awesome for a property here that you can Airbnb out potentially when you're not here, or just to live in. Like, that is really amazing, with amenities like swimming pools, whatever else, etc., etc. You could also get some homes outside, but if you're looking for a condo, let's say near the beaches, you're looking at, for a luxury one, $500,000. If you go even less, it can be a lot cheaper. I've seen condos $200,000, $150,000. There's a huge range of prices for the condos, depending on what segment of the market you're looking for. And again, because of the currency, you know, US dollar, I think it's 13 to 1, Canadian dollar, 11 to 1. These are all, as the time right now, it's June 2022, but that can change. But just generally, cost of living here is a lot cheaper, especially for those that are, you know, with international work, right? Whether it be getting paid with USD, pounds, euros, or the Canadian dollar. Now, Dudun Waterfalls is a little bit further. We are staying at AKRA Hotel, which, by the way, I highly recommend AKRA Hotel if that's within your budget. It's perfectly located right on the cliffs of Antalya. You can see KONYAALTI Beach on the other side. I thought it was perfectly situated. I highly recommend it. It was such an awesome experience at that hotel. We actually also saw concerts there. This part of the jazz festival, and I highly recommend you probably pick a hotel that's really good by the beach. I personally like the beach, so I'm here. It was like a top 3 hotel. We have a sea view, and if you want to see Antalya in its most beautiful form, you want to go ahead and wake up to this beautiful view that I'm going to show you right now. It just looks absolutely breathtaking. So you can see we have this full open door, and you're just greeted. You walk out, and you're greeted to basically heaven on earth. So interesting fact, 2.4 million people live here. I talked about that. But did you know it actually surpasses New York for the most traveled international destination in terms of number of travelers? That's pretty cool. We just came back from New York, and obviously that's the reason why. Just stunning beauty, so nice. These waters, a little bit salty, so it's super easy to float. Just raise your belly if you got one, and float like you're a log. So that's it. Those are our top 5 places to visit in Antalya, the Turquoise Coast in Turkey. This was our first stop on this epic road trip that we're going to be doing. So if you haven't already, you want to follow along on this journey, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video. But Antalya is just absolutely gorgeous and stunning. Honestly, what a city of 2.5 million people, just flanked by beautiful beaches, beautiful sea, beautiful mountains. The coldest it ever gets is 5 degrees on the low in January, and it gets as hot as 40 degrees in the summer. So there's no snow here. Everyone was kind and just very, very clean. The entire city was super clean, and everything honestly was just an absolutely spectacular experience. You have so much history. You obviously have tons of the natural attractions, and we only experienced these are the top 5 places for sure, but there's so many other places you can come visit, right? So I'd say you can come here multiple times and not see everything that the city has to offer. And what I really like about the city, we don't have kids, but if you do have kids, I noticed everything in this city is very kid friendly. They have kid parks everywhere, like in the malls, there's spots for kids. In the beaches, there's multiple spots for kids. The entire city felt like it was designed with families in mind, which I really liked. Like, I don't know why, I just don't see cities kind of designed that way. And it really kind of gave everything like a really homey feel, right? Even though it's one of the biggest tourist attractions and where international tourism comes from, but it didn't feel like this was kind of like a tourist trap. It felt like a very homey, Mediterranean city in Turkey. So I really, really like that. Antalya is probably one of our favorite places that we visited in Turkey. And it's definitely one of the first stops you want to do if you come into Turkey and visiting the Turkish Riviera. So that's it. That's the trip in Antalya. That's part 1 of this entire Epic Drive series. We're going to be heading to Fethiye next, but what a beautiful city. This is probably the nicest city I've been to.
Ever been to.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot. Like I've been a lot of places. I've been lucky enough to visit all across Europe, Asia, North America. In terms of the weather, the beauty, the mountains, the water, the swimming, the restaurants, like all of the stuff that you wish you could have.
The nightlife, the culture, the history.
It has everything, but on top of that, so it reminds me of like mini California. Not even mini California. This city, again, 2.5 million people here.
Yeah.
This is like the Turkish California here. And the best thing on top of all of that is the cost of living is so much cheaper than anywhere in Canada or actually in California. We just came from a breakfast at a high-end resort, great restaurant, breakfast for 2 of us, 3 different mains, teas, orange juices, dessert, whatever else, 325 Turkish lira. At the time today, 1 Canadian dollar is roughly equivalent to 13 Turkish lira or so. Again, this depends on the exchange rate, but unfortunately the economy here, the currency devaluation has happened significantly here. But that's happening across, a lot of the Western world as well. Turkey explicitly, they're getting hit hard, but like everything that you'd want as a city, number 1, outside of the financial stuff, is all here.
Yep.
Like when I think about what I want like the Mediterranean Ocean, right? This is absolutely beautiful. Sorry, the Mediterranean Sea. It's so nice. The salt water, you can float in it. Look how clean and beautiful it is.
You have like people swimming really, really far out, and it's fine because there's no current, the waves are not strong, it's warm, everyone's just...
It's so beautiful. Yeah. And then you have beaches, some of the best beaches that I've seen as well. They are not the fine sand, golden beaches maybe that you think of in Mexico or Cuba that we've seen yet. And we haven't been to every single beach here, and I'm sure they do. Like the beach that we went to, LARA Beach, it was more like a brown sugar kind of sand. A little bit of pebbles mixed in, but a lot better than KONYAALTI Beach. So, and these are 2 huge beaches, and it's not just you go there just to lay in the sun. So much entertainment, live music, restaurants, basketball courts, families are there, old people are there, basically the entire community is there, which is awesome. And then all of this on top of the fact it looks like a resort city, but it's a city of 2.4 million people. So there's a full economy here. There's a lot of stuff going on, and everything's really quick to get into. We have a rental car, and quite honestly, that's been the best decision for us because we can get anywhere that we want with the car, and we didn't experience any traffic. And we're here in June, so it's right now I think it's June 20th.
Probably one of the busiest
times. Now we're getting into the busy season. We didn't experience too much traffic. Yeah. We've been here for about 5 days through the weekend and the weekdays. And honestly, like, it's just been breathtaking. And me and Shab are just like looking at each other. Is this where we want to live now for the rest of our lives? Like, it's so beautiful. And funny enough, we were at a jazz fest here at AKRA Hotel, and we met some expats coming from Australia and other regions who thought the same thing and did that move already. Right? So we're talking about much cheaper rents, much cheaper property. Then the other thing is the Turkish government has a program where you actually, if you go buy a property here in Turkey for under, I think it's about $250,000 and up, you actually have full access to getting a Turkish citizenship, which is also really cool. Like, I guess just, again, the weather coming from Canada where, 7-8 months of the year is cold, gray, and snow. It's so nice that here, the coldest that it gets in January, at the low is 5 degrees. Right? But in January, February, it's 15 degrees, which is awesome. Like, that's our hot weather in Canada sometimes, right? And then in the summer, you're just by the beaches all the time. Yes, it does get hot. I think yesterday we recorded 40 degrees Celsius, which is pretty hot. Yeah. But
stand under an umbrella, put some sunscreen on.
Stay hydrated. The water's refreshing. Go to the water. Yeah. And the people here are also very nice. Obviously, lots of Turkish citizens come here as well. Not just international travelers, but Turkish citizens as well. Yeah. And I mentioned in another post, if you follow me on Instagram, that this just surpassed New York for the most amount of international travelers that are coming into a city, which is pretty crazy. Yes, I know New York isn't a beach sun destination, but New York is a huge, financial hub of the world, and it surpassed that for international travelers. I think that says a lot. And this city has the most influx of Turkish citizens that are coming to Antalya across all of Turkey. And I see why.
Who wouldn't?
Like, who wouldn't? Like, like, we're really sad to be leaving. We're going to Fethiye, which is going to be beautiful. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're doing a road trip there. We're going to be driving through these mountains in the back on the way to Fethiye, then Marmaris and Bodrum. So you're going to follow along us on that journey. But honestly, like, we're going to be talking about how do we potentially come back here, if not stay here, get an investment property here, make this a vacation home for the family, and just basically just educate everybody on it. Because a lot of people from North America, when they think about traveling, they don't think about, I'm going to travel to Turkey.
Yeah.
You know, we get people saying stupid stuff like, is it safe there? Is that a place we should be really going? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the most
felt the safest here in any other country I've been to.
Yeah.
In Europe or even North America or anything like that. Like, you see, as a girl, you know, sometimes you don't want to walk somewhere alone at night or whatever. I see girls here walking alone at night all the time. If I was walking, I would feel safe. There's no sketchy, I mean, there might be some sketchy areas, but overall, super, super safe. I'm not like, you know, you're just not worried looking around you.
Yeah, and I think, like, in North America, there's still this, like, is Turkey safe? Like, that's the question I get all the time, and I don't know why, because Turkey is one of the most traveled countries in the world. And if you think about it, the Turkish economy, they're banking on this travel, so they're purposely trying to make it as safe as possible. And just let's talk about the cleanliness in the city.
Oh my God.
Like, everything is so clean.
They're washing the streets every day. People are coming at night to pick up trash. Everything is spick and span.
Yes, and just beautiful florals everywhere. All the streets are just decorated in all these flowers and lights.
Landscaped and green and beautiful. Just beautiful.
Yeah, I can't think of a better city right now. And this is, you know, I'm taking out the recency bias. I'm trying to get that out of my head. Like, this has everything that I would want in a city. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you guys like this video, if you have any other questions about Antalya, leave them down in the comment box down below. We don't know everything, but, you know, staying here for 5 days, 5 nights is actually a really good way for you to go ahead and experience the city. I highly recommend you do that. Don't come here for 2 or 3 nights. I don't think that's enough. I think 4 or 5 nights if you can. That's the minimum to stay here. I know we're definitely coming back. We didn't see, you know, any sort of good portion of the city yet, and we spent like 5 nights here, maybe 1%, let's say. So we can come back here multiple times, see a lot more that we haven't seen. I know there's a cable card ride that we wanted to go on that we weren't able to go on. So much more of the beaches to explore, the history, boat tours. We didn't do that here, but we will come back and do that here. It was just breathtaking. So again, make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in Fethiye. So again, make sure you guys follow us along. We're going to be visiting the next stop, which is going to be Fethiye along the Turquoise Coast. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff there, including an epic boat tour. So again, make sure you subscribe. If you like this video, again, give it a like. And if you have any questions, you're thinking about traveling to Turkey, you know, ask them down below. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to convince you, you should. This should be on the top of your bucket list. Such an amazing time, such amazing people, and what a wonderful experience. I'll catch you guys all in the next video. This was Sonduren, and I'll see you in the next one.